No, there's essentialism. Essentialism means that excess precedes you. That means that
precision.
yes. Now,
Okay, that means the function of a thing has already been.
yes. Now, school provide people that kind of excess. So your excess already defines comes before your identity. That means that if you remove that school, that excess, you are nothing. Now, I feel like when people graduate, they are nothing. Most people are nothing.
They just realize that, oh,
They're in piece of paper. So now what? Like, okay, what am I now?
okay.
I was a student. That was my identity. That was my essence.
That was your essence.
Now, like postgrad. Okay, yeah, it's not so flashy thing. I'm postgrad because okay, are going to get a job next? Are you getting married next?
In this place, I get to serve because that's the next thing.
Yes, I got to serve. Next thing, you get a new identity. Now you're coming back.
I like copper. Yeah, that's really nice.
So this is copper. Now, okay, what next? Because this they provide you with essence that make you not have to think so much about the meaning of existence. Because if you remove these things that give you responsibility, these things that give you excuse for doing whatever you're doing, if you remove them, what are you? If you are stripped of your school, if you are stripped of, if most students I know today are stripped of their students'
life,
they have nothing. They only wake up, eat. There's nothing, and that does not sustain them. It go back to that right thing you mentioned that okay, but even if you have access to eat, yeah, almost only in pursuit of how to feed your mouth. There's still no identity behind you. So, my guest name is Bolade, Abi?
Krall or Bolade anyway.
I call him Krall. You can call him Supreme, but his actual name is Bolade. So, Krall here has traveled all the way down from Lagos to come and be my first Lagos guest on the podcast.
All right, guys, you can clap by the way. It's not easy.
It's not easy. The goal of this podcast, one of the main goals, is to get students from every university in Nigeria, eventually. One of the many goals. So, you know, I've already hit some kind of mark today by bringing Lagos students. But very soon it's going to be someone from, I already have Abuja, Ilorin, Ibadan, Lagos, Futa.
Oh, the East, they're looking at an Eastern school.
Port Harcourt, I'm bringing someone from Kano, I don't know. Anyway, guys, so today we are talking about a couple of things that are kind of very down to earth, real life stuff. Alright, right? We are going to imbibe in this conversation a bit of philosophy, a bit of psychology, and a bit of real life issue that doesn't take away from the fact that this conversation has to be laden with some kind of value. Right, so we've done our research as much as we can, and we've also gathered our opinions and hope that you guys will listen to them. So stick around till the end, and I am sure you will find this episode to be worthwhile.
All right.
So I don't really know from what order to begin this conversation, but I'm going to start with something that's occurred to me recently.
Okay.
That I felt like I should write about. Now, the title of this thing is Nobody Cares About Men. And how this came about was that, when the entire Israel-Hamas war being started,
yeah,
every instrument of propaganda from either side has either been women or children. If one side wants to paint the other bad, all they have to mention is women have been kidnapped, children have been killed. You will never find the mention of men among all of these.
Importance, why those commodities to be used and disposed.
That's possible.
So yeah, to be honest, yeah, the framework of the world has made men to be quiet, to be seen as tools to be used anyway. So I think also it's more sympathetic if you hear that men were bombed, men were, come on, your first reaction will be like, all right, they're soldiers, it's their job. That might be what you would say per se, but if you know a woman is likely not going to be a soldier, the child is also likely not going to be a soldier. So you're more sympathetic to things like that. Plus, the news and the media, they play on the emotions of people per se. So,
yeah, I mean, if you want to get some sympathy from people, you have to manage to strike their emotional chord.
Yeah,
you have to either show pictures of pregnant women or kids in diapers or babies that have been born apparently.
And it works.
Yeah,
if you see something
it works.
You'd want to click.
You'd click on it. You'd be enraged, and you either tilt more from moderate side, like guys, let's stop fighting. So wow, what has this people done?
So these are this
Yes. And then you can now demonize the other side, because it's easy for you to categorize them as anything once you don't see them as human anymore.
Yeah, it's
So-
easy for you to hate, actually, especially if you're not looking at it from both sides, because I noticed that the media is actually being controlled by one particular outlet. Talking about the Hamas war right now, it seems like the media per se is on the side of the Israelites a bit here. And if you want to see contrary opinions, you have to actually dig deeper to see.
No, actually, I don't think you actually have to dig deep. I have seen. I mean, if you look at countries like the UK, I mean, the world is not what I want us to talk about here today. But it's like a really good start up to
What you want to say?
punchline, exactly what I want to say. Also, by the way, I think your voice is a little muffled. So if you want to speak, you might want to start speaking clearer. You just sound like whenever you mind.
Don't worry, guys. I'm not feeling too good to be with this, but I'll try my best.
Since we had bread and egg for breakfast, now I'm not feeling so good.
I don't think your breakfast has anything to do with how you're feeling, but
Now I'm not feeling, bro. How are you not feeling fine, by the way?
it's a long story, but I've been down for a while, for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, save that for your therapist.
You see that? That's the problem with that man. I mean, save that for my therapy. Save that for your therapy. Like, this is me trying to be.
I don't think my audience should be traumatized. They don't deserve this. So whatever is keeping you down, save it for a therapist.
You know, I do.
Or save it for me after we.
Things that I do not have.
So you don't have a therapist.
Yeah, you worry about it. That's what I'm saying. You're actually quite an informed person. Yeah, you worry about your health. Men like me. Men ain't talking about mental health is non-existent, especially mental health.
Yeah,
Mental health is non-existent in this part of the world.
Yeah, actually, part of one of the things I'll talk about it today.
Anyway.
So, apart from the fact that when it comes to wars and things that have to generate some kind of emotional reaction from you, men are disposable, right? No one cares about men. That was the title of the thing I was planning on writing. Still, I'm planning on writing. And I mean, I realized long ago that, growing up as a child, my sisters, my neighboring female friends would have plenty of opportunities thrown out there. Simply because
What exactly are you saying when you say opportunities?
opportunities in terms of free this, free that, free education, free devices, free equipment, all primarily based on their first category of identification, which is their sex. By the fact that you're a woman, you're already a victim. Therefore, we have to supply you with everything that you can get your hands on. And then I am there, just like I decide this tends to.
So you want to be a victim is that way?
No. I'm saying that.
No, part of the women are no victims, by the way. It's just
It's just reality. It's like it's not really what's the word now? It's not really the case that men and women don't have things they are dealing with, but the pendulum can swing too far. And I think when that begins to happen, that is where we begin to neglect men. We begin to neglect their needs. We begin to neglect the fact that they have things they are going through as well. Let me ask you this question, right? And perhaps with my audience as well. How many groups have you seen out there that are pro-men compared to how many groups you find out there that are more pro-women?
Well, right now, in this part of our world, I can say non-existent, so zero. But recently, there have been a lot of awareness. When I say awareness, they don't want to do. There are stuff like paternity leaves now. But I don't think in this part, I don't think in Nigeria per se, that there's anything like paternity leave. I don't think companies have started implementing it. Maybe companies that are a bit modernized, like the new upcoming companies, maybe they are starting to consider paternity leave. But paternity leave is like, paternity leave can be seen as the right step to like contributing towards men health. But so far, like, they are not pro-health, they are not pro-men health organizations. Those are not.
International, even global, on a global scale, you find organizations that are primarily for women, and you hardly see any for men. And I feel like while ideologies like feminism have achieved some great things for women, because you can see, for example, that women have been dispossessed for quite some time. It wasn't until 1950 that they got birth control bill, and in that same century, 20th century, by the way, that they got sanitary pads. You know, we got a lot of
Bless you.
I think it's I don't know to keep going.
I'll read. People know they bless you and those to do them.
No one loves me.
No good friend. It's alright. I love you.
That's all more. I'll take it. That's that toxic masculinity. There we are. So yeah, I feel like the pendulum can swing. I was referring back to the technological revolution that we had in the 20th century that elevated men from, you know, some of their roles that they were biologically more favored to tilt towards. Yeah. Now, since then, most things that we see around have all been women. And I appreciate that, right? It's fine that we have problems that deserve some solving, but it goes both ways as well. We have problems that we are dealing with. I mean, obviously, you as yourself, you know that there are some problems as a man that you will never speak of. And when you speak of it, you have to solve it as a man. And when women mention these similar problems, society has to fix it. And now I feel like I'm beginning to sound like a alpha male podcast. Well, it's
no. You see, the thing about most men is that we don't want people to know the process. What most men, I don't know, and let me speak from a personal point of view. We have problems here, but we do not want to show people our problems.
Yeah.
We're all painting a image.
Do you think that's thing you mentioned that men prefer not to show their problems or being particularly vulnerable? Do you think it is something that is socially caused, or you think it's more on the biological side of things?
Okay, now yeah, biology has a role to play, but now yeah. Well, I would say in Nigeria, let's talk about Nigeria first. Yeah, our society actually plays a lot in Nigeria, regardless of the biology aspect. Because of men, while the providers, we have to take care of things, and then, like I said, most people do not want to hear the process. Most men, what they're thinking of is, okay, I want to make this, I want to do this, I want to do this. Yeah, and all they do not want to let people know. We all we have is that success story in our mind. So what we don't want to skip the process. I'll go straight to our success story. So when you're successful, we now want to begin to tell people that, okay, while I was struggling, I had all these problems, and so I was able to overcome them on my own. A lot of people like painting that kind of success story for themselves in their mind, and then what they don't understand is that those processes, those problems, we try to solve it on our own. We do not tell people like, these two guys mates, trust me, they're not talking about their problems. They can joke about their problems, both sides are going to laugh it off, but they're not going to sit down and tell you that, okay, guy, I have a problem with this thing, help me. So unless it has opened them to the neck, yeah. And we tend to underestimate our problems as guys. We just tend to laugh it off, cut it off, like, well, I'm not even taking my health serious. See, I've been sick for like 3 weeks, yeah, and I've not been, things like that, all those kind of things.
Yeah, it's so
those kind of things, they contribute to the fact. So like now, as a guy, yeah, these two guys meet and they're talking, like I said, they're not going to be talking about their problems. They might bring up their problems, they might laugh about it, joke about it, but trust me, they don't want you to come and start giving them therapy because we believe that we already know what we want to know.
Okay, before you go far, sorry to cut you short. I feel like there have been a couple of utterances that you've made where I can cut in. I've forgotten one. Well, I'll pick up more on something recent that you said, which is that men, when two boys are talking, they are less likely to talk about their problems, right? And I feel like, generally speaking, it's a little off-putting when we are talking. Perhaps we don't know too much about each other, or we don't know each other that much. Then what you are talking to me about is a problem. It reminds me of that one girl I met in Ibadan, I think sometime 2 years ago. Was at this pop-up party.
All right.
Yeah. And she looked fine as fuck. It was like this in the night around 2 FM thereabout. And we got talking. I got a number hoping that I would see us again before I go back to school, OAU. And I don't know whether it was the perfume I wore or what is the real that, or the way I presented myself to her. But the first thing this woman said to me after a couple of hellos and highs was a hostel problem. And I'm one from that till 400.
You see, that's the dynamic between men and women. Women are quick to tell you their issues.
Yeah, like when you talk about, you want to scare me up. You want to scare me up. Like, I understand you have problems, but when being just mates, it's the last thing I want to hear from you just now.
I think that's also a good thing about you, yeah. But we see most guys and we're used to having problems thrown at us by women actually. So personally, like you said, she's complaining about that was the problem. If it was me, it would just be like another day, another day, another walk in the park. It's like, okay, yeah, let's see your problem. It's like, and that's the dynamics between men and women. Women are quick to tell you their problem.
This dynamic you mentioned also, do you think it plays part in how much attention is being paid to women, like, contrary to men? Because, you can see that, okay, men biologically are wired to act in a certain way. And that is true to an extent. Yes. Because if you look at evolutionary biology, for example, you can tell that one of the things that helped humans evolve is selection pressure from women. Like, if you were just there, if you're a 5 out of 10, no one will come for you. And that means that means that your legacy, your genes probably got to die. Right? So yes. So women will go for the best of the best. They're like a pattern in that way. So you can throw that out there. And you can see that because of that, and because life didn't start 40 years ago, it's like life has actually started for like thousands and millions and billions of years, right? I mean, we become Homo sapien a long time ago. I think you can see 40,000 years ago when we left East Africa. You can see that. Then you can see again that because this cycle has been continuing, right? Men have come to be wired, like psychologically wired to, go for what they want, pursue it, and like don't tell anyone your problem, because if you do, you become some image, the lesser man.
Yes. Well, you see, that's why we're dying. That's why we're dying quickly as per Rico.
Yes. The average man lives 8 years longer than the average man.
Average man. That's facts. That's facts. We don't take over health. First of all, man is not going to go on leave because of his sick. He's less likely to go on leave because of his sick, or he wants to. In fact, you cannot even mention mental health to your employer. So you're having mental issues.
That's it's already giving red flag. As a man,
like, bro,
why talking about mental health?
What was that exactly? You can't even say you want to go on the mental health break. Yes, you can. Actually, when you are sick and they need to put drip in your body, that's when your employer is going to realize that, okay.
Yeah. The obvious fact is that men are less likely to seek help. Whether it is financial, whether it is mental, whether it is physical, of any kind, men are less likely to. But back to this dynamic you mentioned again, right? I want to draw from this laid out fact, or theory that I laid out, that because of this dynamic that men are this, women are this, right? Maybe that is why isn't it assumed that as a guy, as a young boy, as a kid, male, you are highly likely to sort yourself out when compared to women, right? So that way, no attention is paid to the guy. Like, if you can travel from Osho State here to Krall, and you can, across each state, you see men, like, taking sand on their hair to pour it on the roadside, open to be paid like a token of 100 naira by the road users, right? You see crippled men, like, still carrying daggers. But on the contrary, women that are a little dispossessed can't, fend for themselves too much. You see them begging instead, right? If you go through like all these begging stops, maybe breach areas, you mostly see women with children begging. You don't ever see a man. Even a man with broken leg is either in a wheelbarrow going around, looking for jobs, or it's like. So this thing is highly biological, as it is social. So do you think that this is why the pendulum has swung too far? Because in that regard, you can see that men figure themselves out. I'm like, this would obviously explain why men engage in crime the most, right? You can take Chicago, for example. There was a research done recently by Martin Deal and Margot something, I can't remember her name. They basically researched that the more there are more men at the top who are like financially buoyant, and there are very less men like who are like dispossessed, can't do anything, can't be selected by women, the more there's going to be crime. So if men are not doing well, they flip everything to the side. So men are very, very dangerous when they can't get what they want. So anyway, that's a long rant. So what do you think of this entire thought?
No, like you said, men are very dangerous. It's an ambition. Men are quite ambitious, like extremely ambitious, and we tend to overestimate ourselves and underestimate the problems that we're facing. So usually when they're going to crime is because of they've tried every other thing and nothing else works. So usually they have something in mind that they're going to do, and to be honest, nothing ever goes according to plan. So when they notice that, all right, they're at rock bottom and there's nowhere else to go from here but up. So crime, if you're at rock bottom, you start to consider crime, to be honest. You start to think about, okay, since I'm already this terrible, I might as well just try and do this. And then a lot of times, most men would, think that, I'll just do this once or twice, and then I'll just try and get myself back together. But the things don't go as, things are not that straightforward. When you do it once or twice, something's going to happen again. You're going to need someone to do it again. And that's why, that's what makes people, as our crime rates increase.
The less men that are unemployed, the more there will be an increase in crime rates. If you look at Nigeria, for example, student hostels are getting, robbed. Graduates, males, especially the aggressive males, they engage in all forms of cultism, all sorts of crime, because, there's no option for them. And because they're biologically wired to be the provider, it's
what you just said now. I was talking to one of my guys that said his dad is not up doing this. One that is taking care of his family, obviously, is into illegal business. I was just talking to him and he's like he has tried every other day, and right now, because of the amount of pressure that is on him, he can't begin to start doing plain work. He can't begin to start doing an honest living and start earning 60K. Because he's the one that is handling his whole family. He has gone so deep into this thing that he has sent his sister abroad through it. So now, he now wants him to stop doing that and now start earning 60K. His sister is abroad. How is he going to take care of his sister that is abroad? He has to stick to that. He has to just stick to that legal business that he has been doing.
I mean, it's not a phenomenon.
Yes.
I think at least everyone that either by extension or by immediate, just by immediate environments, know someone who, because they are dispossessed, because no one cares about them, because there's no assistance of any sort. No one cares about them, right? They engage in a form of activity or the other that will help them sustain themselves. And because biologically we are all wired to want to propagate our genetic materials to a next generation, everyone wants to leave a legacy behind. It's just a mammalian thing to do. It's an animal thing to do. Animalistic, human instinct. So,
are you sure we're not just on here?
I think all of us are mostly on here. I mean, look at the kind of songs Nigerians sing.
There's
the kind of song that trend in Nigeria. I'm talking about things I want to do to a girl or things I want for a man to do to me or want to do to me. So holiness and biology. I mean, it's all tied together, but yeah, the fact remains that. So these things that men have to deal with, they can become socially, pay attention to children as well, male children. Don't expect that, they are going to grow up and figure out life, they're going to be mechanic. Men control the infrastructure of society. Because the pressure is there, we still complain that, men make more money than women. I mean,
this pressure that
who has more incentive to make more money? I mean,
it's that simple.
The average woman wants a taller man. The average tall woman wants a taller man. The average rich woman wants a richer man. The average poor woman wants a rich man. So
what do you want?
What do you call him to do? There's so much incentive. There's so much pressure for a man to make it, right? And I think that's why men are more on traditional type men are dying up a little bit, because you find that.
Are you traditional man? Or do you call it?
To an extent. I'm liberal to an extent. I'm also traditional to an extent. So times change, and people change, and I'm willing to adapt as times change. I'm not willing to go back to traditions from thousands years ago, but not totally also doing it with them, because what do I replace them with, right? So that's me.
Please there with family. I don't know. You can come here. Family guy.
No. I'm okay the way I'm okay the way I am. Let's go back to the topic here. So, all right. Men that usually would seek love would court women. Now they know that there's no point in courting women where I can just throw money at them and they'll fall in love with me. right?
Well, if that works, why stop?
Why stop? We're in this hyper-capitalist world right now, and anyway, let me not get there. So how do you think we can fix this dynamic between men and women? Because I do believe that women have their own issues as well, right? And being a man myself, I don't think I have enough authority to speak on those issues, although by just observing, I am familiar with them, and I hope that I'll be able to bring a woman on someday to talk about these issues. But man to man, we know some issues that we have. Now, for example, women are entering the workforce, they're entering university en masse. Men are dropping out of university, not just in the US, here in Nigeria as well. Men are dropping out of the school. They are more likely to do bad academically. Women are more likely to enter universities more prepared. Like, these are actually facts you can look into. Men are more likely to commit suicide, right? So men are more likely to be homeless. They are more likely to be, they are prone to addiction. They are prone to crime. Like, if you look at all of these issues and I can highlight these issues to anyone and they say, what about women? Like that kind of
I don't think that's the point of our life.
It's so stupid. When I see people try to enter this victim Olympic kind of thing, it pisses me the fuck off. I am highlighting issues. I'm not saying yours are non-existent. I'm saying that these are existing. Like, two things can simultaneously exist. I see the problem.
Yes.
Like, one doesn't invalidate the other.
No.
But these are the facts. So how do we solve them? What do you think should be done in elevating men out of some of these issues that beset them?
The issue now, the way the world is trying to solve this problem is by feminizing men. I don't think that is the solution. Like, they're trying to make men become more feminine anyways, because that's what we are facing right now. No, I think the problem is letting men understand that because right now most men believe that, like, don't say most, but let me just speak for myself.
Okay.
We believe that we can do good all on our own.
We can do what?
We can do bad all on our own. We can do things all on our own. Yeah, and it reaches a point where when it reaches that point, you realize that, okay, I've reached. Now that I've done, you try and push things. We only hear the success stories. And everybody that's failed, we don't hear their story. It's only the people that succeed, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people need to know. People need to hear these failure stories more. Nobody is listening to the failure stories.
But I want to get this right.
Yes.
So, as a solution to solve these problems, I think it should be on the personal end. Men
need to understand that.
Okay.
Men need to understand that feeling is nobody else. We don't listen to failure stories, and I think it's something we only want to hear the good news. I think as men, we need to take time to look at people that have failed here, to understand that feeling is not the end of it all. To understand that, okay, once you feel, that's not the end. It's all right to feel, because most men, the reason why most men become aggressive, they go into substance abuse, they go into crime, is because failure is not an option. But the thing is that I don't say failure is an option here, but I would say consider failing and try and learn from failing. But most men, we are wired to believe that failure is not an option. So
okay. I want to come in here a little bit to kind of flesh more light from our perspective to everything you said. Okay. So you've laid emphasis on the recognition that failure is also supposed to be a part of your journey as a man, and because men take up a lot of responsibilities, taking care of their house, taking care of themselves, taking care of the family that gave birth to him and the family that he is going to create. Yes. So a lot of responsibilities that a man has to take on, right? Now, I think that you've made a critical point that is actually the similar philosophy that is giving birth to a lot of these individuals that are the limelights when it comes to identifying and solving problems that are besetting men. For example, Andrew Tate, right? Andrew Tate is taking an extreme measure, because when men have been neglected for so long, now you start seeing young men saying top G, because no one is offering them an alternative.
Yeah, actually, that's why Andrew Tate blew up so much, because there was no other outlet for men. Like, yeah, the first time ever that we've ever seen.
You might wait till like he will tell you, just get your money, you go to the gym, get jacked, stop watching porn. Like, he's going to tell you all of these things that you feel like, as a man, some way, somehow, these things should have been instilled onto you. But then you've been neglected so long that you have to find an avenue for these things from a random man on the internet who preaches some really extreme things. And then on the moderate end, you think that, okay, going to gym is actually nice, because I myself, when I was like chronic introvert, I would go to the gym, and I know how much that benefited my life, right? So individuals like that advocate, and the other, you also find the ones on the more philosophical end, like Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah, that's our guy, because he preaches responsibility, and I want to tie that thing to what you said, because the same thing he says in his books, 12 Rules for Life, is individual responsibility. Take on some responsibility. Life is tough. Yes, life is tough. Like, what are you going to do? You are going to whine about it? No. Mouth up. You are stronger than what life has, offered you, or what life has thrown at you. Also reminds me of a quote from this guy. I can't remember if it was Krall or Dostoevsky, that the philosophy of life is not just life is suffering, but to survive by the suffering is to find some meaning. That's Friedrich Nietzsche. And then Dostoevsky says something like, I can't remember the quote. Let me just stick to Nietzsche. So the point is that, like, to wrap that entire philosophy in the context, is that, okay, fine, life is suffering. Your parents are going to die. You're going to get divorced. Like, you're going to drop out. You're going to get fired. Now, life is suffering, but find some meaning in that. Like, you can fail, but mouth up your responsibility. And I think that thing you mentioned and what I'm saying right now are kind of tied together. Because as a man, you are going to be beset by lots of things that you have to do. Expectations won't wound you, and you will fail. And from failure rises, or from death rises a phoenix. So that's from the ashes. Why should rise a phoenix?
Yeah, you're right. Just work with what you have and take on responsibility.
Just now, then you fail.
They need to take responsibility is quite important. Like, that's how to live life anyways. You live life by taking on your responsibilities. The moment you stop doing things, I think you're dead. Once you stop doing things, man, that's when you start to decline massively as a person.
Now, that is as a person. Yeah. Now, what would you say society should offer
to men
as a panacea to, all the issues we are facing? Now, we're spoken on men's individual responsibility, accepting failure, going on with life, never giving up. Now, what should society do?
Yeah. First of all, society is not going to begin start taking off a little bit of responsibilities from men, because it's not going to happen. What they need to do is that they need to create more awareness. Now, I have a friend that has been trying to do something like that. I think he has a therapy section called The Safe Place, and recently he has been focusing on men mostly, because he realizes that nobody is focusing on them. So we need more people like that to create awareness for men. Like this month, other guys are doing not November. Him is doing what he's doing is he's doing men and women in this month. That's what he's running here. And I think usually the reason why most people are not interested in men's issues, because of men's issues don't generate a lot of attraction. Women, why not? Is
that thing again, biological thing. See, I do a funny thing to add here. So, you can see that we have 10 men in the village and 10 women, right? Now, we are getting attacked. Usually it used to be nature, but that was by other men, other countries. So usually it used to be, wild animals are attacking us. We have to go out and hunt some wild animals to bring food here. Now,
men is attacking men.
Men are attacking men. Now, let's say that men have gone out to attack or defend themselves against other men outside their territory. Now, those 10 men, out of them, 9 died. 1 comes back, and that one can repopulate the entire state, the entire community, their village. But if all the women die, all the women die, the legacy is gone, wiped off the map. Exactly. So men have to go out, defend themselves. And you can tie this in with traditional roles, but that's another discussion. So I wanted to finish up your point here with how society can help men. Maybe by recognizing that boys should also be given some kind of attention.
Also, we need to help other guys that are doing things like that. Because, like I said, personally, if I see a guy trying to help another guy, he's not going to draw my attention as trying to help a woman. Let me be honest. I feel like, and that's something that we're wired to be like, but now, like, this is my guy that is doing the men's awareness month here. I think men ourselves are the ones that are going to support ourselves, because I don't think women women are even more likely to support men than men are likely to support themselves. That's something that shouldn't be, and that's kind of funny. Women are going to support, like, see, men we are not supporting ourselves. Women are supporting themselves, and men are not supporting women. So it's not even balanced. Men, we need to like help ourselves out. Actually, like when we're fighting for things like paternity leave, when we're fighting for things like mental health awareness, yeah, we should not just write it off completely. Yeah. Most guys are facing those issues that they're not likely going to they're not going to really tell you that, okay, I have this problem. They take a lot of coercing. They take a lot of coercing and forcing them and talking, and I think we're making it too hard. Why do we have to make them out to push us? Why do we have to
Okay, so I think to round off your point here, you mentioned we should support personal responsibilities for one, and then supporting each other.
Yes, men should support each other.
I should think that, while I like your idea, I don't think that men laying emphasis on helping other men is a way forward. I think we need to understand we need to see in ourselves some level of humanity. If I see a woman struggling, I'm tilted to help her, regardless of whether or not she happens to have a penis, or, reproductive organ don't, invalidate my health.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, if she's a baddie, I'm more likely to. Sorry, guys. I was asking if she's still biting. Well, anyway,
What's your body? What's that?
I won't get to that. This conversation is too serious for that. Krall. This conversation is too serious for that.
Let me get sidetracked by.
Yeah, man. I mentioned by I've already gone. Jesus, man.
I had to ask,
what kind of lives do you guys live in Lagos?
I wanted to ask you what your body is going. I don't know what your body is. I wanted you to educate the audience.
Of course.
I don't know what your body is. That's why.
So yeah, we should be willing to help each other out. We are all in dire need. I mean, there's a lot of problems to be solved in life right now. It's not perfect. We are actively, over the years, moving towards something akin to a better place. We all have problems we are dealing with, whether as a man or woman. Even dogs have problems they are dealing with. So animals, we are burdened with this reality, containing with like lots of problems that require solving. I mean, we are still looking for solutions to dementia, Alzheimer. Yes, there are still mosquitoes. We have like things to like repel them. Well, there's always going to be problems. So I don't think we should be stuck in that victimhood mentality, or say that, men have it harder than women, or women have it harder than men. Therefore, we are going to pitch ourselves against each other. It's just going to be bad. So good. We spent
time on rails.
Yeah, I think we are close to 40 minutes now. And I think we can talk about one or two things. I'm very, very happy. I initially wanted to talk about like 5 things. Well, I think this is necessary to talk about, since most of my audience on YouTube are men, and being a man myself, I have problems I can't speak of, and I'm sure everyone has problems they can't speak of. But making these problems known to someone out there listening to this, watching this, connects us in some way. So I am happy with the discussion so far. Let's talk about another problem here, which is addiction.
Addiction. I think funny enough, in secondary school year, like I think 4 out of every 5 children have tried a form of illegal drug, even if it's once or twice, yeah. And like more than 5 of them is probably addicted to something, a substance. And that's the funny thing. Anybody that's addicted to something tried that thing from the secondary school age. That's why we develop those habits. We try it in our secondary school, we realize, okay, we like this thing, and then our mind are like, once I get to university, when I'm on my own, I'm definitely going to be eating this. And it's so easy to get addicted. Like, it's so easy. And the thing is that if you know you are getting addicted, it's not for about addiction, because we tend to overestimate how much control we have. We always like to believe that we have control. We have control
when we start gaslighting ourselves that, I can quit this thing tomorrow. Yeah. That tomorrow comes, to go back to it, I say I'll do it again the following day.
And then it's so easy for someone to get addicted. And I'm not going back to men, but most men fall back to drugs and substance.
Yes. Mostly our way of coping. Because in the face of a world that is actively looking to kill you about, you have to
have alcohol as your friend.
And sometimes alcohol is a friend, and sometimes people are luckier to have other people, I still fall back. I have friends like I can tell my problems to. I have a therapist. Like I had to seek out my therapist because I went through some kind of trauma and I couldn't deal with it on my own. And I could have used alcohol to overcome it. Like I have a friend in my class. There was a day she asked me, "Ismail, do you have loud?" I said, "No, I don't smoke." And I asked her what she wanted to use that for. And she told me that she has to give a speech very soon. And, she has anxiety. And the way to curb it is by, getting high or getting tipsy. And I told her that instead of running away from your anxiety, why don't you face it on?
And when you fail, you try again,
Yes, like instead of trying to curb this anxiety that that is there, right? It's not going anywhere. You're just pressing it.
Pressing it down. Then after a while, the dosage is not going to be enough. The release of loud is going to need to suppress it. It's just going to keep increasing, and that's how she's going to get addicted. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
If every single time she's out, she has to fall back to loud, it's the first dosage is not going to work. You have to increase your dosage. That's just how it is. The stuff builds resistance. Anxiety builds resistance and stuff, and she's going to take some more this time. Next time, she's going to need to take more and more.
I mean, she's not the only person that falls into this category. I know lots of other people will, not anxiety, it could be depression. Like when you are depressed, your amygdala, which is like part of your brain that is receptive of negative emotion, is highly activated. Your octopamine is low, which is your fight or flight response is very, very low. That means your nervous system, like this entire thing is more neuroscience than it is a physical thing, right? So, and I studied that neuroscience in relevance to alcoholism, but not too deeply. Anyway, I feel like not just anxiety, everything can be repressed by alcohol, but just as it started with, addiction is very, very easy. You start with this, you start with that, and you just find yourself in that rabbit hole. Now, when you mentioned the tolerance as well, I remember something. So I studied alcoholism in line with addiction, and I found out that just as it is to find yourself trying cocaine, you can equally find yourself trying easy. Easy is like the lowest speed of weed, right? You start with easy, you build tolerance, you go to loud, you build tolerance, you go to Canadian. Yeah, you go to Canadian loud,
go to Quills, you go to Colorado,
Colorado, methamphetamine, cocaine, then heroin. Then you get to this part where you have to inject it into yourself, like not just inhaling it or smoking it. So like
in your body, there
are just so much steps you can take from ending from going to one bad place to one worse place, and you wouldn't know it until you realize one day that, because that shapes your perspective. It's all going to your brain. It's going to warp your perception, and that's why some people end up with mental disorder. And that's why if you take colos, you can actually like run mad. So like speaking of addiction, when you are hooked onto something, your brain develops a circuit for that thing, right? And that thing, the more you fuel it, the more it's going to be harder to like run away.
It's going to become automatic.
It could be porn, it could be alcoholism, it could be women. Like you can be addicted to anything.
Yes, that's what people don't realize. People only see addiction as the major things like, let's say, drugs, porn, and all of that. They don't realize that there are some minor habits that can also be addiction.
Yes.
People don't realize.
Even food habits. Like I remember when I was running every day, when I started running aggressively, bro. I can't wait to wake up to run. No, that's what separates habit from addiction. Because habits they have more positive nuances to it. Yeah, when you mention, that person, I have a habit of waking up early. I have an addiction. I'm addicted to waking up early. So habits, they have a positive nuance to them. So back to addiction again. So people have different ways of combating. I mean, this will tie into men issues again, but this time not just men, just people generally, because people, we are beset with things to do. Like we are in this world like that we just been thrown into, and we actively have to struggle to feed. Like I know people who even myself, I know myself more than other people. I know how much I struggle to feed myself, But like, what did I do to? Why am I here in the first place? So he begins to question lots of things. You can even begin to question God. Like Dostoevsky said, I don't know what like question that guy lost. He's my favorite guy. He said,
There's no worry Dostoevsky book, by the way. I will not advise anyone.
by the way, all the books on this table are all Dostoevsky.
Yeah, if you are quite easily impressionable, I would advise you to read those books.
Yeah, if you
need to be able to, you need to be grounded in yourself.
Yes.
So actually,
It's almost like I've tried psychedelic once before and I hated it, but I also liked it because it's like it opened my eyes to look at things. Mind blowing. I began to like see as the stars. I see the BC in them. Like I feel like most things that are around us are only waiting to be noticed. Like you can hear the droplets of the rain on your roof, and you just find some sense of serenity in it. It's some sense of beauty in it.
Master.
No, I'm not saying that, man. It's trust me. It's just life. It's just life, and it was worse initially, but then it's my body. So anyway, what is that? If you want to read Dostoevsky, Fyodor Dostoevsky, I think it's to commit to parasitic the demons.
You need to first understand yourself in that.
You need to understand yourself. So anyway, yes. He's a very dark writer, a very powerful writer, a deep theological and philosophical writer. So he said that the loss of one's child can make one question the essence of God. And I just found that so powerful.
Because to me, it's not even sure that you haven't lost a child there, but you can try and paint that image.
Yes.
Losing your child would actually make you question the existence of God. It will make you wonder if
18 years, 20 years, 30 years, only to bury a child. It's carrying a child for like months and only for it to like just be gone. So, I mean, the stuff is very, very dark. But the point is that there are problems in life that beset you, that will make you question the essence of existence. Now, when you're doing that, you can read up into some kind of philosophy that will like expose your eyes to like, the essence of meaning. Because, if everything's paradise, there will be no free will.
yes,
Yeah, and, there will be no free will. Because if God created a perfect world, you can't have any right to wrong it. Now, I'm going to mention Dostoevsky again. In his book, Notes from the Underground, there was this thing he mentioned that the advantage that men have is that they can curse. Other animals can curse. They can say fuck or shit or damn. We have that. Now, if all our 2 + 2 equals 4 and we end up in a paradise where all we have to do is eat cake and, worry about how we can give birth to the next generation, we are going to run mad.
It's like that, that rat experiment where these scientists provided a bunch of rats with everything that they needed. And then all of a sudden, the rats started to decline in population after reaching a certain amount of population because of they basically had no free will. There was no point of...
There was still sense of adventure. We can't...
There was no sort of, like, ambition drives when...
Dostoevsky said, if you dare, man can decide to break things just to get a sense that things are still going his own way. Like if he lives in this perfect house of glass where that's his going on, he can decide to throw stones to the glass just to make sure that he's still sane.
Yeah.
So like the essence of humans having been a beast of burden is that there are problems that will beset you. There are problems in life to be solved. Now, when dealing with this problem, I said dealing, you have to deal with them. Don't have to run away from them. Don't shelter away from them. Me, I'm lucky to have friends, I have therapists, I have you. We talk about deep things sometimes, yeah. I have songs, I can sleep, right? There's also provision of drugs.
Yeah.
Now,
funny enough,
they just walk down the streets.
they are more easily accessible than a friend, which shouldn't be so honestly speaking. Why should we be more accessible than a friend to talk to? Well, if you isolate yourself as a guy, you would...
Yeah, the more you isolate yourself, the more you isolate yourself, the worse the addiction becomes. Because it becomes your only source of comfort.
Yeah.
Things you can talk about with your friends, your lover, and because everyone is single today, like statistically speaking, those people are not having sex except like, and those that are having sex only by, look at OnlyFans now, a generational shift in how women perceive men, men perceive women. Yeah, like instead of like talking to these finest women, you can talk to the finest women that you've ever seen in your life. Like being a
transactional, it's now transactional.
There are problems to be solved. Or loneliness problem. Everyone is lonely, man. I've written about this and I've researched a lot, and they make me very, very sad. Like, everyone is lonely, to be honest. People are very, very lonely. But in solving this loneliness, don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs. Avoid them. Try your best to avoid it. Trust me.
If you also have these things, like if you're deeply sad, drug is the last thing you want to take, because you begin to rely on it.
When it falls off, it's actually makes you sad. That's it. Yes, when you take the drug and the effect wears off, the pit it drops you in, like it drops you in a deeper pit that
there's also there's going to be withdrawal symptoms as well.
Yeah,
and once you stop, you want to go back to it, because there's that circuit in your brain that craves for this thing, and you can't punch it out. It's like part of your nervous system, so it takes time to heal. That's why people go to rehab. So addiction on all fronts, whether drug, whether sex, whether anything, it can be bad for you. That's why, I mean, most men are addicted to porn, because even, unfortunately for me, I was exposed to porn at a very young age.
That's like got exposed to porn.
Yes. You know.
I think the reason why, personally for me, the reason why I didn't like get addicted to porn was because I felt like all these things I'm saying, if I want it, I can get it done. So like, why would I be watching people do this? If I'm so interested, why don't I just do it myself? So I was like, nah, porn is not that. Porn is not today. I just had this thing, like, why should I be watching other people do something I want to do? It wasn't that for me.
It wasn't that for me.
But
I was browsing on waptrick.com.
I found out true.
Yeah.
I don't think. Oh my God! What they found out true is they can't.
Yeah. I was browsing on waptrick.com, and I randomly saw this 18+ and boobies, like
obviously it was
just nothing.
That's always
yes. And it's a teenager with a region border. Ew. I clicked on that thing. It took me to waptrick.red, and I was seeing category in a clinical. What overwhelming. So you won't know that what you're doing is wrong until you get to an age where you find out that it's a problem that you need to overcome. Right? Most people are stuck in this cycle because their brain has developed this pattern for so long that it has become an habit, an addiction that they have to overcome. And it takes lots of self-mastery to overcome, self-discipline to overcome it.
Well, addiction reaches a point. Self-discipline is where, if you need external help, you need that.
Yeah, if you need it. I mean, some can overcome it by themselves.
I think the people that can do that are quite sure that you'd like to admit. Because see, people that have like strong mental resilience like that, we tend to, like I said, we overestimate ourselves a lot as men. Yeah, to be honest, well, I think if you have people helping you accountability, people keeping you accountable, the success rate to be higher. Try to get over those issues. I think we all need like 1 or 2 people that we can fall back to and say, okay, I messed up. I know I was clean for like 5 days, but today I don't know. It just got over me. Those kind of people that can also encourage you. Because when you mess up, when you fall back and you don't have anybody to encourage you, you're not going to rebound. And you're not going to go back up. You're going to keep falling down.
So your advice is that if you have any addiction issue that you think,
find someone
to speak to
that can you can tell the person, okay, I messed up today. What do I do? What should I not do next time? Also, there are some things that we know as ourselves. Like if you don't want to do something, when something was happening, there are a series of steps.
You add this to the framework.
Sorry, there are a series of steps that goes into doing that thing. Yeah, like now, for example, I noticed that there's an habit now there to stop, and I noticed that no matter what I did, if I go to this place, even though I said I'm not going to do it, but if I just go to that place,
that's Mobile Legend. Like I just said Mobile Legend. If I play Mobile Legend,
I was just doing this particular thing. I know that it's a series of steps. Once you've done step 1, you're going to carry out step 1 to 5. So do your best. Don't think that, okay, I can stop at step 2. Don't think I can stop at step 3, because the problem is at step 5 here. But there's like step 1 to 5 to get to that problem. Don't think, most of the time I like to believe, okay, I can stop at step 3 of that.
Okay. Well, chill back a bit.
Alright.
It's a little loud.
Okay, I thought I should speak louder, okay. But you see, avoid step 1 at all costs. So if that's the best way, like you should know your trigger. You call them trigger symptoms. If you're able to identify those your triggers, avoid them at all costs. Because you like to believe that, okay, I can stop halfway. Once you've entered, you just know that you're going to carry it out all to the end. So just avoid those situations.
So triggers, there's this, I feel like this book, Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits?
Yes.
I've seen it. So
I haven't read it, but I've gone through the synopsis. And there's one very interesting part that if you want to build an habit, you need to create something that triggers you. For example, if you like to read, if you look at my room, there are books all over the place.
Yep.
Yeah. That's because I like reading. I don't like reading, but there are some literatures that I feel like I should read. I don't study using book. I study using YouTube instead because I study visually and auditionally. So in that atomic habit, you can create cues for yourself in some way. That's okay. Wow, there's books over there. That means it's time for reading. There's a key over there. That means I should take my car for a ride. There's just put little cues around you. That's because here's the thing: 50% of your brain is dedicated to processing visual information. Right?
That's a large amount.
Yes, that's a lot of things for only your eyes to process. So if you see things, you can say, and things around you are things you use to operate as within the world. Like if you see, like the absurdity right now that you're seeing, that thing is just enormous. Like what all that thing is to you is something to fit in, something to fit on.
Yeah.
That's it. So your brain processes most things as such. Like this is just a beer of stick in my face. That sounds wrong. But it's just stick put together with a really large thing. Like it's just some really, really absurd. But like it serves a purpose. Now, my brain only sees it as such.
As a stick with
and that means that it has a purpose to serve, which is to get, my audio out there. Now, you can also do the same thing with addiction. The cues that you see around, people around you, maybe there's a spark beside you or there's a bottle somewhere here. Like it goes just beyond your brain creating that circuit. It also means that there's going to be like external perception of the world. You see a lighter, your brain ultimately goes. Or for porn, I dealt with it for a while. You see a girl in the bikini, your brain is already raging. It tries to revert back to that pattern of, girl in bikini, then naked girl, then porn, the next. So there's going to be that cue. And because social media platform, for example, they feed on these things. Like if you create a profile as a male account, you are going to be bombarded with so many naked girls, right? True. Yes. Even for Snapchat, I log on Snapchat. I don't use it only for promotion of my podcast. Then there will be days where I'll just log on just to check on my friends' stories, and I'll start seeing adverts promoting things to lonely men. Girls 18 plus, like voice chats. Like these are things that they are trying to market to lonely men. Half naked girls, and it's all over the place. TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram. Anyway, when the cues are there, you can easily refer to any addiction. So I think we should end that there. There's one more thing we can talk about here today. Or two before we wrap this up.
All right.
Now, another set of problems that besets people is determining what life after graduation would look like.
Okay. University, once you graduate. I have an opinion that right now I think university is overrated.
Okay.
And I think it's an opinion that we have not yet culturalized over here in Africa. I think about they're starting to realize it a bit. Over in Africa, you can't even say you don't want to go to university. I think it's a bit overrated right now. I think individuals.
What makes you think so?
Yeah, I think individuals, they need to. When you finish your high school, secondary school, whatever you're calling it, I think it's alright for you to just take a 1 year, 2 year break to identify what kind of individual you are, because it's not everybody that is going to need to go to university, because university is 4 years of your life. Depending on your major, it can be 6 years of your life. And trust me,
you're in Nigeria, it can be 8 years of your life.
8 years of your life. Your course is 4 years because you are tired of 8 years of your life.
Yep.
Due to so many circumstances and unforeseen stuff. So you really need to know that, okay, let me see, you're an average Nigerian. If you're lucky, you're going to get into university your first. If you're not lucky, you're not going to get to university in 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years. Job real properly. And then, so now, you're 23, 24, and you're just entering university. And then, you're going to, so you're not, okay, your course is not a 5-day course. So you're 24, you're going to go do that 29. God help you, there's no strike or anything. So if they strike and everything, let's say you got it at 30 years. And then I think people that are university or trying to get to university, I have to admit, okay, people that are trying to get into university or people in university, they tend to fall back to the fact that their university as a means of complacency. They do not work on themselves personally. So that's why they don't try to improve themselves. They believe that, okay, I'm trying to get to university. That's like the next step for me. I can't do anything else to be better. They just work on, okay, I just want to get to university. And when I get to university from there, I'll know what to do next. Or people that are already in university, like
So you believe that university provides people with an excuse for them to not develop themselves?
not develop themselves. Yes, it provides because everything they're falling back to is okay. I'm in university.
I don't need the skill. I don't need.
I should get focus on it. And most of the time, unless you graduate with the first class in some particular courses, not even those particular courses go safe. It's sweat as me to make sure. It's not like you're not going to make it in life exactly. Yeah. So I think that people need to just relax and realize that, okay, now that I'm done with secondary school, you want the university degree, but is this something that I want immediately? Is this what you want right now? I think people should just understand themselves as an individual, career paths. Like, okay, this is my career. Do I really need my degree immediately now? Or do I need to just learn one or two skills that I can use to earn money before jumping into university?
Okay. So I think that is really well laid out.
Yeah.
It gives a background to the life that kind of happens after graduation, because I want to assume that most people listening to this are students of university, or they're going to be students of university. Because education has been in existence for a very long time, and anyway, that's beside the point. So I want to lay more emphasis on what happens post graduation. Yes. So people, I want to talk here a little bit from a philosophical angle.
Okay.
There's this guy, father of existentialism, called Soren Kierkegaard. Now, I am an existentialist to an extent. In that extent, existentialists believe that you exist, and then you find meaning for your existence, or you find meaning that justifies your existence, whether it is a miserable existence or a bad existence. You exist regardless, right? They find something just justifies that meaning. Now, existentialism, there's essentialism. Essentialism means that excess precedes you. That means that
precision.
Yes. Now,
that means the function of a thing already being.
Yes. Now, school provide people that kind of excess. So your excess already defines comes before your identity. That means that if you remove that school, that excess, you are nothing. Now, I feel like when people graduate, they are nothing. Most people are nothing.
They just realize that,
they're in piece of paper. So now what? Like, okay, what am I now?
Okay,
I was a student. That was my identity. That was my essence.
That was your essence.
Now, like postgrad. Okay, yeah, it's not so flashy thing. I'm postgrad because you are going to get a job next. Are you getting to get married next?
In this place, I get to serve because that's the next thing.
Yes, I got to serve. Next thing, you get a new identity. Now you're coming back.
Like copper, that's really nice.
So this is copper. Now, what next? Because this they provide you with essence that make you not have to think so much about the meaning of existence. Because if you remove these things that give you responsibility, these things that give you excuse for doing whatever you're doing, if you remove them, what are you? If you are stripped of your school, if you are stripped of, if most students I know today are stripped of their students'
life,
they have nothing. They only wake up, eat. There's nothing, and that does not sustain them. Let's go back to that right thing you mentioned. That but even if you have access to eat, you're almost only in pursuit of how to feed your mouth. There's still no identity behind you. So I feel like life after post, I'm still a student. I think I have a couple of semesters to go. But I have tried so much, because I'm an existentialist, I have tried so much to create what identity for myself would look like. And I assume that most people won't decide to stay back to university because life outside university is like an habit.
It's scary. I think it's a scary thing.
It's scary.
People are not ready. And I think, I think that was a bit of my issue with private universities. That was because public universities, they should be built here, but you are still a bit outside. But private universities, when you're done with your 4 years and they throw you out, and then God help you, you serve. If you serve immediately, that's good. But if you don't serve it, you're going to realize that, what have I done? How do you go to your certificates here? Unless you're someone that is fine with 9 to 5 and you just want to start the 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Maybe you're okay. Or maybe I think most people that go to private universities, I think you should have a bit of a comfortable family if you can afford going to a private university in Nigeria right now. The private universities are like 1 and above. But like I'm saying, once they throw you into a private university, you start thinking, okay, is it 9 to 5 now that I want to do? Or Or do you find satisfaction? If I don't know if people are wild, if people find satisfaction in like getting a job immediately and those doing 9 to 5 just end more.
Yeah.
I don't know, personally, that's not what I'm after. And there are other things that I my mind as a person, and I realized that, okay, now that I'm out of university, how am I going to get all these things done? Like, all through my university, why didn't I prepare myself? Why wasn't I working towards those things? Why did university, that's why I said that university makes people
you don't have to think about all of these things when
you're in university.
When you are a student, when you have that excuse as a student. One thing that I can also hold here philosophically is that past that university stage, you are a graduate now. Okay, let's say you have an excuse. Now you can go outside for another 1 year.
Yeah.
Then what? So, Kierkegaard said that what causes anxiety is the dizziness of freedom.
The problem of choice, when there's so much things
to do. You fall into that anxiety, like, oh my God, what am I going to do next? Oh, do I marry this girl?
It's so easy when everything is planned for you, and that's it's when we have so much choices, so much options that becomes a problem.
That is why I like existentialism over essentialism, because existentialism says that firstly, you say that you are firstly an individual, and whatever identity you are, whether temporary or permanent. So yes, it comes second. Now you have to create that identity for yourself. Most people, especially essentialists, they have the identity for them in form of religion. Because the religion provides you that essence. I mean, you can't just say that.
There are a lot of ways to
about them. Political ideologies. You can be a feminist for the rest of your life. You can be a feminist for the rest of your life. You can be a capitalist, a socialist. You can dedicate yourself to one thing and one thing only, because that thing gives you meaning. And we are stripped of it. Like, say, for example, a Christian, just go to church, go to mosque, go to church, go to this, go to that. You die, go to heaven. It gives you some essence, some meaning that sustains your existence in this material place. And after you die, you go to heaven.
That's why I'm of the opinion that you need to actually, when you're doing secondary school, you need to actually not just jump into university. I think you need to discover yourself. I think people that, I think self-aware people are like the most lucky and also the most unlucky people in the world. If you're actually self-aware, it gives you an advantage, but it also creates a problem for you.
It does that. I can relate to that a lot.
It also creates a problem for you, but if the moment you become self-aware, you realize that, okay, because I think because of a lot of people are so used to what people are going to say, but you didn't realize that it's your own law, it's your own life, and then regardless, if you tell someone that, okay, you want to stay back a year, just to know yourself, because I think once you get thrown into the university system, you do not have the room to okay, start realizing, okay, what I was doing in my life, what I was doing.
Do you know what?
It is automatic. You just play the game.
Yes.
You play the game for the next 6 years. And trust me, 6 years of your life.
Do you know what makes it worse? That these 6 years can be some of the worst years of your life. Because for one, you chose English. We are studying adult science or adult clinical.
For 6 years, you can dislike your clothes for 6 years.
Dislike yourself.
And then it's your forming.
There's no sense of meaning. It's almost like getting married to someone you hate.
Getting married to someone you hate is terrible. It's like getting married to someone you don't know. I think that's a bit better than getting married to someone you hate. Getting married to someone you hate is terrible. Like,
it's someone that you don't know, you feel like there's almost a potential of knowing them. And I think that's what happened with political science, because I studied political science and I wanted to go for English because I've always been like best in English throughout my years of education, right? Yeah. So I thought, okay, this is going to be easy. Let me just go for English. Then I think English in OU was like 71 thereabouts, and I wasn't like particularly confident in my work results. So, but I was confident in my post-UTME results because I was already like well off academically. So I decided that, I'm going to choose something that I'm very likely to succeed at. So I chose political science, which kind of baffles me that it's below English, because political science is very, very...
I feel like it should be harder than English. Yeah, I feel like the cut-off free where that English go.
I'm not political science, and I was seeing things like what I'm right now was given to me a little bit by political science, but I had an identity. I knew what I wanted to go for, right? But then I chose this route, but knowing that, okay, it's used by adventure. I don't know what's going on there, but it's the alternative, because I either feel like this, I'll try again, or go for this and, figure out my life from there. Yes. So, and I did, and it has provided me so much avenue that I feel like so much that I don't know whether I am more interested in politics, history, philosophy, psychology, politics, geopolitics, geography. I am well versed in most of these things, and it baffles me sometimes that I have difficulty determining what I want to dedicate myself to.
So that's going to be a problem for you because you're starting to sound like a multi-potentialist. And that's a problem about the irony of choice. Having too many choices is a problem.
That's the business of freedom. You make this choice. It's like you feel like you're going to regret it because
you're going to regret it because you have so many options. You know, if you're left with only 2 options, you'll be like, okay, it's either this or this. If you feel like this, okay, then you should have made this one. But if you feel at 100, we have 100 options, and you feel at one, I'm going to realize that.
Okay, I want us to end this discussion here.
Okay.
On a piece of advice, like regarding this one thing he said, that anxiety that comes with having multiple choices.
Yeah.
Now, what Kierkegaard offered as a panacea for the business of freedom is a leap of faith. Just
do it.
Just do it, man. Just like you can be stuck in analysis paralysis, right? You're trying to analyze. You're stuck. Everyone is moving past it. You're like, oh, this or that, and it is what's for people with OCD. I have my problem with OCD, and I used to my advantage. That's why I entered, graphic design. It's good for me. Now you can be stuck in that analysis paralysis, but what you can also do as a countermeasure is take a leap of faith. That's what Kierkegaard suggested. Now take a leap of faith and see what happens.
What happens when you fall?
What happens when you fall?
No, when you fall.
That's life. It's like. If you figure out the outcome of 100% of your actions, you're going to go mad.
You see the good thing about falling, that once you fall in once, it's not as scary as before again. So if you fall again, you can just try something else.
Yeah.
It's not so scary once you fall once. The problem is that I don't think a lot of people have failed before. I don't think a lot of people have actually failed. A lot of people have not experienced failure all their lives. They've just been cruising.
They play Wednesday.
The moment they play too safe, and the moment they experience failure the first time, some might not be able to climb back.
Yes.
And then I just know that you are not too high. There are some levels of height that when you fail from that height, it takes a lot. But when you have someone that have fallen down a few times, you climb to a certain level, you fall, you'll be able to handle yourself.
Again, this is tied to that one thing you mentioned initially. Don't be afraid to fail.
Yeah, don't
start off it.
Don't be afraid to fail.
I know, you and I know how much investment went into this podcast. Basically left it bankrupt for a long time.
Yeah.
And I had to borrow one from different people, and I knew that it was just a leap of faith. It's not about the camera, it's about my identity, because I'm big Phaze. Like, this is me. I am all of this gadgets put together. So that's a leap of faith. Now, I'll carry myself on this podcast. It's like what will sell me. And I don't know myself well enough, but I'm willing to explore that. I'm going to take that leap of faith. Just go in. And I even mentioned that in the first video I posted on this channel, that I am here because I don't have everything figured out. And if I did, I'd be in a different place.
Exactly.
Because if I knew everything here, like never one age, I would start like a small account or something.
I'm pleading you to the rock.
It's now. I'll just go and start a small account, I'm already give me that illusion. But I'm a mage, right? And I've already cleared out the mages. I'm going to start a small account on jungler or something. Yeah, just take a look of it, man. And try and find meaning for yourself outside of what your secondary category of identification is. You're a student, okay, fine. But outside of that, what else are you? I am a worker.
That's still man, don't have anything outside their money. Let me tell you, take your money away from man. What's left of the man? Take money away from the man. What's left of you? It's something that a lot of men need to ask themselves, to be honest.
Be a person of value.
Yeah,
a person that is desired.
Yeah, play desired individuals. And then the thing is that you can actually tell people that are desired. Those by look at them, you can tell someone that has a lot of potential. Regardless of not only money, but human beings are attracted to value.
Yeah,
we can tell when someone is going to be of value to us. And depending on
the advice you would give is be a person of value. Be a one of value, a man of value.
Or be willing to know people or help people that you think have value. You see, not everybody is meant to be the one that fits.
Yeah, we are all restored differently. We have different potential.
So it's alright if you are the person that is friends with the person that makes it. I mean, if you are his close friend, trust me, if he's making it, you're also going to be making it.
Yeah.
Just that
I tell my friends that a lot, that if I eat good, well, eating good. That's what's up.
That's what's up, man.
If I can eat
I'm eating good, all eating good. Trust me, man.
So be an individual, then find identities of your own. Outside of religion, outside your studentship, outside anything artificial that is bound to you. Now you can see religion is not bound to you, but I'll leave that up to you to discuss. I don't mean to like put in some kind of existential crisis here, but we are keeping this episode real. So that is that's about life after graduation. One last thing here before we go to question and answers. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Something a little comical, because I think what we've been discussing here today is very, very deep.
It's serious, already.
Very deep and serious. Like me, we've been discussing the meaning of life. We've been discussing like, depression, all sorts of things. Now, what I want to ask you is, well, what we are going to discuss here is red flags.
Red flags. Now, women or if people or like people. If people.
No, let's stop women because
if you're a guy, you're looking at the.
If you're a guy, perhaps some other time when I'm talking to a female friend of mine, I can ask her, have red flags in guys as well. So, but since we are both men here, I don't know about you, but the beard don't fool me. I'm a man. I'm kidding, man. I don't know about you. So, all right. So, what are some red flags that you keep eyes for in a woman?
Yeah. So,
but hold on. Let's start with something more general. What are some red flags that you think every man should? Although our taste is very subjective and extent, but if you have to generalize some kind of red flags in a woman that every man should look out for, what would it be?
I think, well, for people around my age, we're looking at a specific age of women, and then it just depends on first of all, my biggest red flag is how much you use your phone, to be honest. If you can't hold the conversation without...
So you want to keep this personal to you? Don't want to speak for that man?
No, I think for that man, I don't know, for that man, I don't know what is a red flag for that guy, but for me,
okay, so for you now,
it's how much you use your phone, to be honest. If I'm talking, you are both talking on your phone every 5 minutes, but another personal red flag of mine is, I don't use Snapchat, I don't use Snap here, but I ask people for their Snap, just to check their Snap score. Females especially, like, if your Snap score is above 500 kids. Like, shit, unless you feel on Snap score like 2017 or so, if your Snapchat is like, if your Snap score is like above 500, entering down 100k, 1 million, but you can't tell me that thing. You
I had one of my friends recently from ONE. I just texted him, then I checked his Snap score, and this guy had like 220 something K. I'm like, guy, see, no. I tell you, guy, nothing if you tell me, not pennies to the up for this platform. Nothing, because what as a guy with over 200k Snap score?
Actually, first of all,
I don't Snapchat.
Like, no, a lot of people, but man, like, once you know that it's like 500k close to 1M, 800k close to 1M, there's no fun.
Man.
Just know what you're getting into. That's what I'm telling you. So if you see some things, not actually surprised or shocked, because you said, like you said, those are what red flags are. Red flags are warning signs, basically. And so if you decide to ignore them, it's on you. But trust me, once I see them, I'm like, okay, it's a risk you want to take. You know that she's going to like this. You should want the risk. So that's basically.
I've seen some red flags from
basically.
Maybe it's because I'm on the male side of TikTok, because if you're just used to be that you have to decide maybe you're a man or a woman, right? I've seen some really silly red flags from women, like.
Have you seen those memes where they're like,
they're mostly flags.
They'll be like, okay, street and type. If he runs while crossing the streets, he will run. Then the guy's not going to write it down.
It's like number 56.
Number 56 roll while crossing the streets.
And it's kind of so where when a man wakes up and immediately showers, instead of like talking to me first or brushing his teeth, instead of talking to me first, like that's a red flag. And I think that red flags are tied into particular patterns of behavior that you as an individual can say that, I don't think I want that associated with me in any form, right? And I think that having red flags is pretty normal, because what is my red flag is another person's red flag. For example, I have seen a lot of tweets about, a man's red flag being that he has a podcast, right? And, I don't buy that, because I've seen podcasts.
I can't understand why someone just
yeah,
that's a podcast. I can't see why.
I can see that. Even I can see that, because I've seen some some really messed up podcasts where all they do is talk about, almost men. You think that behind the scene they are sucking each other's dicks, because one sees all up to one thing, one address with him, and it's almost always talking from men's perspective about things that women are doing wrong, and nobody likes that.
Yeah, no one
likes that. So people have red flags, and I think it is okay. My own red flags are not. Do you want to go with the red flags?
No, let's hear yours. I'm a simple guy. I like to believe I'm simple. Red flag, little for.
My own red flags. I used to have this red flag. It's pretty silly. People that say literally instead of literally. Oh, literally implies some form of literature, and literally is like, out of literally. But should have overused literally as well. Like, it's silly, but it irks me, right?
Yeah,
like
I press the toothpaste in the middle. It's a cover.
No. I think no. Like, someone said that literally cut off my head. No, they didn't literally cut off your head. Is there. I think me figuratively cut off your head. So I always like more the linguistic end.
Yeah, it's that's why I thought.
I don't think I'm better. I'm pretty stupid myself. But there are some things and that's to be aware of. So that's one. What's also another flag I look out for? Let me see. Yeah, people that chill with, when they open their mouths.
That's courtesy, basically.
Not courtesy. People are doing it, and sometimes I'm too afraid to tell them that, what you're doing makes me want to strangle you. But why would they joke?
I don't tell them. I think you should tell them because it's funny.
I tell my friends, but not. I tell your friends. Yeah, I don't tell strangers. I just give them one side eye.
Enjoy strangers, you enjoy them. You just have to enjoy.
I just give them side eyes, and also people that give me red flags are these people who later.
People that
I hate it a lot, especially those. Now it's not just men it's not just women, but men also do it. But it's not a red flag for me. Just a bad behavior. I hate, right? You could be inside the car and person go buy like maybe corn for roadside.
We trade in the
corn tram outside. They don't chop and finish. It's such a dirty behavior. Really is. So like these are like really simple. I don't have a lot of red flags because I like women. A lot.
Very supposed to like if you do like comment.
I just emphasizing there. So I like women a lot, and some of the women that attract me are not the kinds that I will find basic red flags in. But that's just maybe in me. So do you have any more red flags?
They are red flags. Let's see. Women, life is easy. Women people like to believe that women are for Allah. It's if you're trying to solve their problems that you start to carry problems on your own head. Don't try to solve everyone else's problem. Just focus.
What is the red flag coming here?
No, I'm just thinking of women in general. The only serious red flag with the woman is a look on perspective on I think a woman that focuses too much on gender rules. Because personally, I know my own rules as a man. You don't need to remind me. Don't remind me of what I need to do. I already know them. I don't like getting. So it's very other ways.
So you like political babes?
Political babes. No, I said I don't like it when they remind me of my gender roles. When they remind me of
what's wrong with that?
I'm supposed to do. I don't like getting reminded of what I already know. If you're going to tell me something that I don't already know, don't remind me that I'm trying.
What's your type of girl?
What kind of question is that?
So just let me know, man. I told you maybe there's someone out there watching or listening to this and they're wondering, look at that guy in glasses. By the way, if you're listening, you can't tell that's wearing glasses. He actually wears glasses and he has like a full hair. I'm trying to describe him to those listening. So like, what's the kind of girl?
Okay. Most people just have an ass man or something. That's the simple.
Okay. Now let's categorize this in two ways. Physically, what's the kind of girl?
Physically. First of all, I'm not. I don't know. I think I'm just like 5'9". I'm not so big, so I do not exactly like a big woman. Not because of they're like intimidating to me, but just because of I like to be able to carry my own one. It's just that simple. And so
as a short king, you like short.
I'm not sure king. I'll find my feels, and I think I'm quite stronger than that. So like, if you're big, I can probably carry you, but I don't want to stress to carry you. I just want to be able to.
So you don't like 21 years old girls that are 500 kg.
Anybody that's 500 kg should be dead. But you wish. I think that's half a ton where you should be dead. But yeah. I like them portable. They just
here we are talking on the group that day and they say he likes tall women.
6 small women.
And like it's not a foot for himself.
Yeah, girl is like 6'1" or 6.
I am 6 foot and I know that I don't like taller women. I like shorter girls. So mentally now, what's your kind of girl?
I actually like ambitious. I don't mind them. I like ambitious. I like when ambitious. Like I engage in a conversation because recently, before that, I used to stress myself talking to her and all. At that time, yeah, before she was replied, you thought of the next 10 things to say as a guy. And then at the time it was fun. But then I just was like that. Oh, why am I stressing myself exactly to talk to you? Like if I'm spending too much brain cells holding a conversation, if I have to think. I study physics and then if you are making me think if talking to you is other than physics because I'm not going to stress myself. Like you should be able to hold the conversation. A lot of men do not hold the conversation.
Yeah, I agree.
So I mean personally
So ambitious. So physically you like shorter girls compared to you.
I like portable girls. I don't say
What do you call it?
I like portable girls.
Portable, that's a nice choice of word.
Yeah.
It's just like the other ones are immobile, Abby.
I don't say they're mobile, but they're not easily movable. That's the difference. I don't say I like mobile girls. I said I like portable.
Krall.
Some are not Krall.
In describing kind of where you want mentally, you said I want ambitious. Choose other adjective that describes the kind of person you want.
Another girl. You see, okay. If she's intelligent, she's alright, but it's not exactly a do. What about it? If she's intelligent, it's alright. It's not exactly a do or die factor. I do not mind if she's not the most smart, she's not the smartest person. It's not really killing.
All right, so that's a to each his own. Now for me, my kind of a girl, that's you asked by the way.
All right, I was great. So I was you ready?
My kind of a girl is every girl that listens to this podcast. So please invite your friends, because I'm looking for
guys,
audience.
Please do subscribe.
Please do subscribe to the channel. Yeah, my kind of girl.
If you want to think you look like how guy feels, watch the YouTube so you can see he's trying small. He used to start doing landscaping too.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to give him advice because I look like a kid from here, but still, I think he has potential.
There's lots of potential. So my kind of girl is the kind of girl that I'm looking for a name to give the the fan base. The Phaze squad, Phaze gang.
If you are Phaze, girls are pretty girls with cute little bodies. I know your type Phaze. Everyone was down me because you like portable girls extremely.
Yeah,
especially
stop saying portable, please. Stop saying portable girls, man. That sounds weird as a pro. I've never seen anyone mention or describe girls as portable as before. But anyway, if you are listening to this as a girl, you are probably my kind because you have interest in what I'm doing, and
she's an intellectual.
Yes, you've managed to get all the way here through our nerdy talk and geeky talks. So I love you. Now mentally, obviously, you're my type as well. So for the guys here, I'm not saying that you're not my type, but
why do you have a type of guy exactly? I don't know. Why is that something I don't know? Me too.
but yeah, as a girl, if I were to be a girl,
what to be your type of guy? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, thank you. People that would listen to this podcast, because if as a guy, I'm like more attracted to girls that are a little more on the intellectual end, love art and literature. So I think that would make so much difference, if you were a guy, because I probably seek similar, traits.
So how do you mention something? I think charisma plays a big deal. Yeah, charisma, like you do not actually have to have the biggest of anything. It just depends on how you flaunt what you have. Charisma is a big deal for me.
Yeah, we are out of time here. Unfortunately, about 1 hour, 30 minutes in. So, this is the Q&A part. Are you ready for the first question? So the first question is, if you could start all over, what Nigerian university would you choose? Yes.
First of all, it's not going to be any particular university. I will not just go to UNILAG or a private university because, personally, it's just because of the waste of time, one. Also, it's basically because of the waste of time. But if I'm going to go to university, I can go to university I want, right?
Yeah.
Anyone I want. I don't know. I'll just go to
Nigeria.
In Nigeria, yeah, sure. Maybe I'll just go to, I don't know, maybe PU or something. Somewhere where I know that PU or PU ASAP. I just study a course that I want. I get out in 4 years ASAP. And be done with it.
What is PU?
Pan-Atlantic now.
Okay, Pan-Atlantic. Okay, and that's where Sochi goes.
Sochi delivery.
How much do you think that's 250?
I did it 5 M when I was
5 M.
Well, for the course I wanted to do that time, I don't know how much it is now, anyways. But that was there.
By the way, do you want to tell my audience what course you study? Because I know physics.
Physics.
Well, you look it. Trust me.
Physics.
You look like you study physics. I will not lie to you. So, second question here. What song are you mostly listening to currently? It's not part of the questions, but just something.
I'm not exactly. I like music, but yeah, I'm
What song are you like jamming currently, like back to back?
I don't know. Currently, right now is but because I just realized that I'm not been vibing to music a lot.
But I just give us one. I don't want to hear the story behind it.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know. Right now, yeah, I don't know. Maybe Apocalypse by Cops. I've been enjoying it. By Cars.
Alright. Cigarette After Sex.
Apocalypse.
I put you on that shit now.
Yes, you kept me on that shit.
These people listen to Cigarette After Sex. They are currently the best band out there right now. They're my favorite. I love them.
Oh, I don't know. For music, I used to like Linkin Park, but just after Peterson died in 2017, so like Linkin Park has died with him. So yeah, I just left the music. I don't vibe with music.
Alright.
I
I will take that. By the way, if you are looking, if you are watching this right now, you notice that there's a couple of books on the table there. Yeah, most of those books they are by Dostoevsky, and I think that if you want to, not that I'm smart by any means or intelligent by any means, but I do have opinions that are kind of like correlated with scientific research or philosophical inquiries. So if you want to, enlarge or equip your mind.
You're an interesting person. If you want to be an interesting
person with lots of opinions on different facets of life,
read
books like Dostoevsky and Friedrich Nietzsche. But I will warn you before going that you need to like.
You can read Friedrich Nietzsche. He's a bit calmer than Dostoevsky. Friedrich is a bit calmer.
No, it's crazy.
It's crazy also. I think Dostoevsky is like worse.
It's not of worse. But let's just end that there. We can talk about it afterwards. So just anyway, please like this episode. Subscribe to the channel and share this episode with your friend. Please, it is the only way you can support what I'm doing. I'm not currently making money.
I think this guys, you need to take it.
Yes, what I said also, but most importantly, like this video and come back for the next one. Please also take care of yourself and take care of your mental health. It's very, very important. I don't think it's spoken well enough. The kind of struggles we go through as Nigerians. Our generation has it other than previous generation, obviously, because evolution has changed. A lot of things have changed. As our lives are getting better because of technological revolution. So it's more expensive to live as a day-to-day person. So please take care of yourself and look after one another. Look after your friends. They are going through it, and talk to your friends.
Yeah.
Compliment strangers on the road and pet a cat if you see one. That's from Jordan Peterson's Reference for Life. So on that note, have a safe, wonderful rest of the month, and I will see you next week.
All right.
Bye.